Good morning, POTA family. Whiskey Alpha 3 November coming to you from US-2928, the Bicentennial Capitol Mall in Nashville. We're out here doing some POTA. You know how that works. We got the Gabil up on the tripod. I love this antenna. A few ground radials down. Tried to get them out of the way as much as possible. They are bright blue. I got a laptop here to log with. Let's just keep it simple and get on the air. Helicopter flying over. Looks like a tour. It's 800 feet maybe. All right. And CQ. Hopefully you can hear this. I have a speaker behind my phone in addition to the headphones. Checking the spots real quick. We're looking good, so yeah, RBNs look decent. Beacons are picking up. All right. I don't really have a good way to hold that down. Try putting this battery on it. Hopefully that helps. The spots look pretty good. But I'm not hearing anything. Let me make sure my POTA spot took. I've had that issue before. My POTA spot didn't take. That's why I am screaming into the abyss. So, let me spot myself. That should fix it. I hate when that happens. I clicked the box to have WRL spot me, but I don't know, it didn't take. Let me go back to the POTA page and check it. Once I see it there, then I'll call again. Nothing yet. It's weird, it's not spotting me. Auto spot. Oh. It doesn't have my mode set for some reason. Band, frequency, RST. There it goes. Alright, let's see if that worked. There I am. Okay, we're spotted. Let's try this again. First one in the bag, Craig in Maryland. $559. Not bad considering the distance and the setup here. And I'm in the middle of Nashville. First one down. Good. POTUS spot's working. RBN is working. Pretty good spread too. Sorry for the angle, y'all. I'm using my phone for these, so I'm doing what I can with what I got. There's our second one, N4CD. Robert in Texas. John in Florida. $589. Not bad for the compromised setup this is. Alright, that's 3 in the books. CQ it is. Not quite the pileup I had this morning. I stopped at the Tennessee National Wildlife Refuge and got quite a few in the book, but I was trying to film it and I lost that because a wood trimming crew came through and started making a bunch of racket. So I only filmed basically the first QSO and shut my phone off because you don't want to listen to that the whole time. And it was close. I mean, it was overpowering. So this is much more tranquil, believe it or not, being in the middle of town. RBN spots. Oh, I'm getting into Canada now, down to Texas. It might take a little bit to get our 10 here, but that's okay. It's a new park for me, so I just really want to hit my 10 and call it. I'll probably pad it to 11 or 12, but that's it. I don't know if I'm deaf or if I'm mute, but I'm not getting a lot of takers. The RBN spots are kind of weak compared to what they usually are, so I'm thinking I'm kind of mute. Yeah, slow going so far. This may be a long video just because of how long it takes to get enough QSOs. Well, the RBN map just picked up a lot. I'm getting a very east-west pattern out of this. Not even that circular, it's very east and west. And I am not. KD3CA. We got Donald in PA. 579. Well, that's 4. JD3 easy. Arthur in North Carolina. Well, that's not who I called. There we go. Maybe I screwed that up. I don't know. I got it figured out now. I think I got this. I think I got Lorenzo in New Mexico. Okay, I guess not. KF4 UCC, but I'm getting KF5 DA, which would be T UCC. It's a little sloppy, George. I'm struggling to get you. AA4H. Got it. Got Charles in North Carolina, AA4HI. Boy, all of a sudden the band opened up or something. Wow. In 5, I am. William in Texas. I'm up to 7 QSOs so far. Like I said, the band just like opened up. I was deaf for a long time, and then all of a sudden, bam! That's 8. And just like that, it's dead. So CQ. Let's do the short CQ, because we're close. I'm at 8 Qs, so. We're real close to knocking this park out. First time here for me. Not a real common CW park. I don't know if the conditions today are why, or if it's just not a lot of people in the area that do CW. But I think there's like 200 QSOs here, CW, since the park was added to the system. So we're going to add another 10 or 12 to it today. It's going pretty well now, or at least it was. We got up to 8 and then poof again. I don't know if the band's acting weird or if it's just my luck, or heck, if there's something wrong with my setup. I don't know. This is only the 3rd time this has been out, so it's our telling. My reports I get are good, but it's like not everybody can hear me. Let's go with that longer CQ message. Spend a little more time on the air and see if it gets some attention. About 3 more, please. I heard someone. They were way down in the noise. Let's do CQ again. It's a nice day to be out here doing this. And that's so weird how the band opened up and then just crapped out. My spots are changing a lot too. I guess the band's up and down, because looking at the RBN, I started east and west, then it went north, then it came back down to east and west. Now it's east and west with some southern. So, I don't know. Band's doing some weird stuff today, I guess. I haven't had a chance to mess with this radio or this antenna enough and try really other bands. I just kind of stuck it on 20. It has a loaded coil similar to a Wolf River coil, and all you do is slide it up and down, and that'll give you your different frequency resonance. But so far, I've not had much luck with tuning anything besides 20, but I haven't really tried. I watched a video on YouTube from another ham, I forget who it was exactly, said to put 4 10-meter radials on it, so that's what I did. Technically I have 8, but it's speaker wires, so it's 2 wires together right next to each other, so I don't know that it really acts like 8 because they're not separated. I might separate them in the future, we'll just have to see. Make sure the antenna hasn't fallen over. It's a little windy. My Q rate here is much slower. My park this morning, it was almost 60. Right now it's 35, but that's just the nature of it sometimes. We're so close. We're at 8. Definitely not going to sit here and get 30. This morning it just kind of kept rolling, and I ended up with like mid-20s, like 26, I think. And I don't think that's happening here. Steven, KJ5MQE. Oh man, that is awesome. 559 in Texas. That is so exciting. I've hunted him several times, but he's never hunted me before, so I'm excited. Boom. I hope that makes it on his TikTok. That's always fun to me. Steven, if you put my QSO on TikTok, I'm not bribing, but I'm just saying if you do that, I'll make sure to reach out and tell you about this video so you can see the other end of it. Hopefully you can hear it, I don't know. I'm so excited from Steven that I'm keying a mess over here. 579 into PA. Thank you, William, so much. Alright, that is technically my 10, but as you know, I like to play it safe and get a couple extras. So we're going to try to go for at least 11, maybe 12. Just depends on how well the band cooperates. And just make sure this is a solid activation. I don't think I got that one right. I'm really surprised. Robert, Missouri. That's pretty close. And 5.9. Hey, I'll take it. Kenneth in Florida. 599 into Florida, I'll take that. Any more callers? I'll do a last CQ. I don't have a CQ POTA last call in this radio yet, but I'll do it one more round. And if I get an answer, I'll work that one until everyone's gone and then just QRT. When the band opens and it's fast, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Alright, I'm not hearing anything. There's possibly someone calling, I don't know. I might be deaf in this park. I really am not sure. So I'm going to QRT. Oh, that was cool. I got a thank you dit. All right. So let me spot myself as QRT so that clears that. All right, so I'll just I'll give you the nickel tour here, as my grandfather likes to say, show you the rundown. So put this laptop down, sorry about that. So yes, We are here in the heart of Nashville at the Bicentennial Capitol Mall. Really neat park with a lot of history. There's a World War II museum down there. There's a county map down there, from my understanding. I haven't had a chance to explore the park yet. I really just came over here to activate the park first and started there, and then I figured I would look from there. But there's that Capitol building again in the distance you can see, along with the rest of the Nashville skyline. Can't quite see the Batman building from here. I think I would have to move quite a bit to see it. But I'll give you a quick rundown here on the setup. So you can see we are kind of park bench portable here-ish. I don't know. There's the QMX. I am absolutely loving that radio. Hans, fantastic job with those. Chromebook, I dusted off from the cabinet and have been using that to log today, and fantastic, actually. I'm loving that, so I may just keep doing that if at all possible. And of course, we got the typical Putikeeg paddles there. Xiegu speaker helping out. I'm hoping you guys heard it. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to review the footage. There's a train that actually goes by really close here. Let's see if I can show you. I think he's going to cross that bridge right there. Yes. That's a cool shot. Right underneath the Capitol. That's neat. And then the rest of the setup here, real quick. I've got some speaker wire, like I said, for ground radials. It is bright blue, so I know it's kind of in the way a little bit. It's not really a major thoroughfare. You see, you could come through the two gates and possibly walk here, but with it being bright blue, and I was right here trying to keep an eye out, you know, so that nobody could trip over it, trying to be a good steward of the hobby. Most of the radials are more out of the way. You can see that one's kind of over there. That one's really in a good spot, and that one too. There really shouldn't be much of anyone going in that direction. And then here's a shot of that Gabil setup. So there's the tripod. I love this tripod. It's so nice. Very simple, but very sturdy. It has multiple positions to lock the legs. You can shorten and lengthen all three legs. It's very stable, actually. The winds are pretty good here today in Nashville. And this antenna is about 7 or maybe almost 8 feet tall. And it's handled all the wind very well. Here's that coil. You can see I've got it at about 3.5. That's where it was resonant. That's the only bad thing about this guy, is having to use the nano VNA to tune it every time I set up to activate. Can be a little cumbersome, but it's still pretty quick of a setup. It takes longer to lay out the radials than anything. Gabil does sell some magnetic plates that you can put on here and stick to your car. Most of my parks are WNAs, where I'm activating tailgate portable, hence the tailgate POTA name. And so being able to set this up maybe on the bed cover of my truck and just take the magnet panel, connect it to the ground radial system, and put it on the side of my truck would work very well, actually. So I'm considering getting a hold of those to test that out. But for today, this is our setup. You can see I just carried a satchel bag over here, which is awesome. So my intent with that was to kind of just look like, you know, a regular corporate guy out here just in the park for lunch or whatever with my work bag. And that's what I did. And it worked very well. Like I said, everything here can fit very well down into the bag. I'll show you this other bag too. So this is the one I've been using. It's a Maxell bag. Honestly, I got this at Walmart. And everything fits in there, with the exception, of course, of the radials, because they're 33 feet long each, and the tripod. But the antenna itself fits in there. I actually get the coax in there. Of course, the radio and all those little peripherals. Everything fits in that bag, so all I really technically need beyond that little satchel is a handful of radial and the tripods bag, which is pretty small too. I think it's hiding in here. Right there. So that's it. I'm going to tear down and get out of here. Thanks for joining me today at the Bicentennial Capitol Mall. I believe it's reference US-2928, or maybe it's 2829. It's one of those. But I really appreciate you tagging along with me for my first time activation at this park. It's a nice place to set up and enjoy, but definitely a challenge on the RF front. I don't know if it's the bands today or if it's just the antenna in the park. You know, if you've done much POTA activating, you know how much one antenna might serve you very well, and then you drive 20 minutes down the road to a different park and that antenna is completely useless. It just, the way that the terrain and things can be, hopefully, you know, I just realized this, but where I might have kind of screwed myself over here is using a vertical. You know, they typically have a lower takeoff angle, and a lot of this around me is higher. You can see all the tall buildings. There's quite a hill underneath the Capitol there, so that may be part of my problem. I may have been blasting my RF into the buildings and not really getting out. But I wanted to completely satchel everything, and my other option for an antenna was my JPC7 dipole. Fantastic antenna, I love it to death, but it requires such a massive tripod that I think it would have looked a little funny. Obviously, there's no reason I couldn't have brought that in, but I was really trying to go for more of a streamlined approach, and this setup allowed me to do that. So thanks again for coming along. I'll stop rambling. POTA on, friends. Until we catch on the air again, 7-2.